So I did not set out to write a book of poems. When the pandemic descended, I set out to journal my way through the pandemic and thought that I would be the only one in the country that had that idea. Um, and obviously I was not, but after about 2 weeks, I just became depressed as heck. I mean, there was no blue skies on the horizon. You guys remember, I know, the what it was like during that pandemic. But so I decided to do some other kind of writing. I remembered that not too long before the pandemic, I had written a poem that I liked a lot. So I took that poem out, I rewrote it, and within a few months, I had poems overflowing in a folder online, and that's the genesis of this. The themes of my poetry, not surprisingly, are things that I love and have reflected on over the years. So you'll find that my themes are things like childhood, innocence, coming of age, family. I'm always sort of examining the question of faith. I write poems of love. Poems of place are important, especially in Michigan and Lake Michigan, but also I've got a suite of poems about my trips out to Arkansas, and I have a suite of poems that I wrote when my sister Amy and Linda and I went to Gettysburg. And I wrote a poem I like after our trip to Venice. So place is important, and then there's poems of aging and accepting the inevitable changes that are imposed by that process. So I'm going to read some poems tonight. The first poem I'm going to read is that one that set me on this path, that one that I remembered when I could no longer write a journal about the pandemic. And this is a poem both of family and childhood innocence. It's called A Playground Gift. I run fast as a cheetah, you told me on the playground, and in proof wobbled across a wooden slat bridge, faster than the spotted cat in your picture book at home. So fast I can't even see you, I proposed, and in wondrous joy you crossed the span again. Passers-by saw an old man and a happy little girl playing in the morning sun, but you were on the Serengeti, and, for just a moment, so was I. Slow Rivers, the book, I think is interesting for a couple reasons. I hope it's interesting because the poems are good, but it's interesting in the sense that it's my first book of poetry published as I'm approaching my 70th birthday. And all the poems in Slow Rivers were written when I was in my mid to late 60s. So I hope there's some sort of inspirational aspect to that as well, that Slow Rivers might inspire others at my stage of life to pursue their own dreams, as I've done in publishing this book. And I view this book as a part of my legacy. The children of my grandchildren will be able to hold this book in their hands and know that I was here. That's important to me. Self-publishing was a viable option for me, I thought, because I knew I had a good book. You've got to have a good product, whether you publish with a traditional publisher on your own, or else it's not going to succeed. And I like to sell things, and I have experience selling things and in business, because at different times in my life, I've sold storage space, wine, appliances, and real estate, just to name a few things. And now I'm selling poems. It's not really that much difference. And I think it's fun. I enjoy doing it. So also now I have to really thank my wife Linda for her support. I think that if you're going to try something different, having a support system in the form of a spouse or a friend, a lover, a family member, a child, whatever it might be, someone that can support you on this road less traveled, is vital. I really do view this as an opportunity for me to do something later in my life that I feared I might never get the chance to do, and I encourage other people to take that lesson to heart and do the same thing. But you have to acknowledge, sadly, that some of us never get the chance to pursue those long-deferred dreams. Last year was my 50th high school reunion, and the list of deceased classmates was depressingly long. I think most of us have lost people we love to things like dementia. Certainly in our family we've lost our beloved father figure, brother-in-law, friend. And so not everyone's going to get the chance to do that. So the last poem I'm going to read is the last poem in the entire book, Slow Rivers. And it's called A Yard Like a Life. When beginning a project outside in the yard, my mind fills with tasks not yet begun, and I pray one day I'll be grateful for all I've accomplished and not filled with regret by what remains undone. So I think in the end, we all hope to be satisfied with our accomplishments and not filled with regrets at what remains undone. And I wish that for all of you that are here tonight. Slow Rivers, the book, for me, is a step in that direction. If you like the book, after you buy the book for a friend too, okay? And then tell them to do the same. It's a struggle, but I'm having fun. Okay, love y'all. Thank you. Bye-bye.